You know perfectly well you can't build this dock without approval. Show me the permit.
This is the permit application.
We followed all the rules.
At 6:12 a.m. on May 3, 2024, I opened my front door and got hit with cold lake air and flashing red-blue lights in my driveway. My coffee smelled burned, the asphalt was slick from overnight rain, and my dog pressed against my leg like he wanted to disappear. 2 deputies stood by my mailbox, and behind them was Marla Griggs, our HOA president, in a puffy vest with a clipboard. One deputy said, "Sir, we gotta report you're building an unsafe, unpermitted structure over public water." Marla pointed past my house like a tour guide and said, "It's down there. He's doing it again." I hadn't even fully woken up, and my day was already on trial. This whole fight is HOA posted 22 fake violations on my lake dock rails, then I filed the permit, and I wish I was exaggerating. My dock looked like someone tried to wrap it in orange confetti. 22 bright violation stickers were slapped on my aluminum rail posts, even on the water side where nobody stands. A zip-tied note on my ladder said remove immediately, and another said fines start at 9:00 p.m. The deputies pushed on the rails, saw they were solid, and told Marla it looked like a civil HOA issue. Marla snapped, "So you're just leaving?" The older deputy sighed and said, "Ma'am, we don't remove handrails." Then he wrote something down anyway, because she would not stop talking. At 9:00 a.m. I went to the clubhouse to appeal like a normal person. The board sat behind a folding table like it was a tiny courtroom. Marla didn't even pretend to listen. She slid a fine sheet across and said, $200 per day until the rails are removed, plus an $85 hearing fee. I asked why she called the police and why there were 22 violations for one set of rails. She smiled and said, multiple instances, multiple violations. That made no sense, and she knew it. The neighbors in the back stared at the carpet like it was the safest place to look. One guy mouthed sorry without making sound. The board voted in under 2 minutes. Denied. Next case. That night I drew my line in the sand, but I stayed lawful. No tantrums. No revenge pranks. Proper channels only. I sat at my kitchen table and turned my anger into paperwork. I lined up photos, emails, and call logs in a binder. I labeled it like a school project, because simple wins fights. Timeline item 1 April 5 at 4:27 a.m. false trespass call. Timeline item 2 April 12 at 9:00 p.m. complaint about dock lights that were not even on. Timeline item 3 May 3 at 6:12 a.m. police at my door. Then I wrote one sentence in big letters for myself, patterns of false reports can be prosecuted. I wasn't going to get her back. I was going to make her explain herself to people who don't care about her clipboard. On May 6, 2024, I went to the county permit office at 8:30 a.m., filled out the shoreline form, and paid $175 for dock safety railings. The lobby smelled like copier toner and lemon cleaner, and the clerk stamped my receipt like a gavel. She looked at my photos and said, "These are safety rails. You're doing the right thing." Before I left, I filed a public records request for shoreline complaints tied to my address and our HOA email domain. 2 days later, the file landed with 63 pages. 19 complaints in 40 days. 12 of them had Marla's name attached. 5 more came from her husband's email. 2 were anonymous, but the wording matched her emails like a fingerprint. One claimed I installed razor wire. Another said I stored fuel on the dock. Lies, stacked like pancakes. May 10 at 7:00 p.m., I walked into the open HOA meeting with my binder under one arm and the county inspector, Mr. Alvarez, beside me. Phones popped up like prairie dogs. Someone whispered, "This is going on Facebook." Marla started her speech about standards, then froze when she saw the badge. Mr. Alvarez said he was there to confirm my permit and address a complaint pattern. He measured one rail post right there in front of everyone, nodded, and said the rails were compliant and the permit was approved pending one final check at the site. Then he looked at the board and said the HOA has no authority to post fake county violations or place enforcement-style stickers on private property. People actually laughed, not because it was funny, but because it was finally obvious. The older deputy was there too, and he calmly added that the repeated police calls were documented. Marla tried to talk over him, but her voice cracked like a cheap speaker. By May 15, 2024, the HOA emailed a formal withdrawal of all 22 violations and erased the fines. A month later, Marla resigned after neighbors demanded an audit of legal fees and complaint spending. The lake got quiet again in the best way. The next weekend my mom came over, held the rail with both hands, and said, "Good. Now I'm not scared to walk out here." Marla didn't get hurt. She just got exposed, and that was enough. Please follow for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think she got what she deserves? Comment below.